to me. So fire up that fiddle, boy, and give me one last drink. When the sun comes up, I will leave without a fight. The world is mine tonight.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nighthawk
And The Hindrance.
I'm Nighthawk.
And I'm The Hindrance.
And we are doing our first podcast of many.
Of many.
It's going to be a little bit of nothing.
And a whole lot of everything.
I'm guessing more everything than nothing, but Wednesday. So what's up Wednesday?
What's up Wednesday?
What's up with you?
It was snowing on the way back from my job.
Snow sucks.
Snow sucks, and traffic around here really sucks.
But you got to think about it. If it wasn't going to be snow, it was going to be rain.
Yeah. Doesn't make the situation better.
I hate them all. Alright, so a little bit about me and The Hindrance. We both work in healthcare. That's where we met. We'll leave it up to you to decide how this all got started.
Yeah, I can definitely tell you one way I got started. It ended with me in tears.
Isn't that the best way?
Yeah.
Alright, so seriously, what's up on Wednesday?
What's up on Wednesday? The guy who was instrumental in bringing Spider-Man back into the Disney MCU stepped down yesterday, Bob Iger. And he was huge in trying to make sure that Tom Holland stayed with the Disney Marvel brand and not just Sony. And God, my heart breaks a little bit because if it wasn't for him, we would have completely lost Tom Holland and the Spider-Man I love, personally.
Oh, he's the best Spider-Man that they've had thus far. I mean, don't get me wrong, Andrew Garfield was a very good Spider-Man.
I just liked Emma Stone in that movie. Personally, I liked the approach that they took with Gwen Stacy and introducing that character, and then hopefully bringing in Mary Jane, but they cut that whole Mary Jane part out of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Well, that's because there was never the number 3.
What was the number 3? Oh, no. Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield had scenes with a Mary Jane, and they got cut.
Stupid. You can't have Spider-Man without Mary Jane.
No, absolutely not.
And they always do it. I don't, or they have a really horrible Mary Jane, such as Kirsten Dunst. But let's face it, that whole section of Spider-Man right there just needs to be forgotten.
If we're going to talk about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, we got to talk about Sam Raimi and him coming back to Marvel to produce the new Doctor Strange 2 movie.
But didn't he just get dropped?
No.
Or is that the guy they brought in? After the...
Yeah, no, that director stepped away.
Right.
But script's been already written, production's already in the works, and apparently they had already been having an idea that this was going to happen, already talking to, I think it's Sam Raimi, but they brought him in, and they are totally going to do like a PG-13 PG-13 horror film of Doctor Strange 2.
I don't like it.
For the Nightmare of Madness or whatever that's going to be.
Yeah, but this guy has screwed up so bad on the first Spider-Man.
Well, okay.
We don't need a repeat.
Okay, for when that movie was brought out back in 2002, it was the first of its kind. It opened the door for the X-Men series. It opened the door for the other Spider-Man series. Let's be honest. If you look at any other superhero movie prior to 2002, they sucked.
Which X-Men are we talking about?
We're talking about, I can't say, Hugh Jackman's X-Men, but he's been in every one of them. No, right. I'm talking about the
First
one...
Class?
No. Prior to that, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, and X3.
Garbage. All of them. Garbage.
But they laid the foundation.
Yeah, I get it, but...
If you're going to call that garbage, are you going to call the Fantastic Four garbage too, then?
I am going to...
And the first 2 Fantastic Four, not the one that was the one-off that Fox made.
Oh, the new one that just...
That Michael B. Jordan was in, and he was Torch, and it completely flopped.
Yeah, that one was no good. I did not care for anything but the first Fantastic Four.
The very first one?
The very first one.
You didn't care for the second one?
Not really. I feel like they really underplayed and kind of goofed off on the whole Silver Surfer thing.
You know what? And considering that the Silver Surfer is going to be in possibly Guardians 3, and they're going to be bringing in Galactus, I'm pretty excited for that, being it's 2020.
Okay, but it would have been okay to do a higher production movie back in 2002 with these same characters.
Yes and no. Because when when Fantastic Four was sold off and the X-Men were sold off and all that stuff, when they were all sold off back in 98, because Marvel comic books was going bankrupt, they had to sell off all these properties to stay afloat, to keep the comic books afloat. Right? So Marvel was only a tagline for those movies, and Sony and Fox were the ones running with it. Mind you, Kevin Feige was a producer and an executive on both X-Men, Spider-Man, and Fantastic Four, but he didn't have control over their creative idea and how to construct what he did construct eventually.
The only great things that came out of there were Patrick Stewart as Professor X, because he could not have been a better Professor X.
Agreed.
Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine, because
that he played for 20 years.
Right. He still shows up in things as Wolverine, because...
Absolutely.
Deadpool
2.
Yeah, Deadpool 2. Even the first one, he wears them on his face.
Yes.
So, I'm okay with those things.
They laid the foundation. You know what? Mistakes were made, but the foundation was laid for what was to come in 2008. When Iron Man was made.
Let's talk about the biggest mistake.
What was
all of them?
What, in your idea, is the biggest mistake?
Was the first appearance of Deadpool.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know how you're going to sew the mouth.
Of the merc with the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just kind of completely ruin it. But back to the topic at hand and the stepping down of...
Bob Iger.
I hear he's being replaced by the guy that's in charge of parks and customer experience.
But he's second in command that is stepping in.
No, I get it. But, I mean, he looks like a little douche, but hopefully he's going to...
Hopefully he'll let Kevin Feige have the control that he needs to have to be able to continue on at least through Phase 4 and Phase 5. But let's be honest, Kevin Feige's been doing this for 20 plus years at this point. Do you think he's going to be done after Phase 5, or do you think he's going to be getting his next protege prepared to take over the reins for Phase 6 and Phase 7?
No, he absolutely cares about the direction that Marvel is going. So he's definitely not going to just dip out on us. I was actually thinking it was a good thing that this guy in charge of parks and customer experience was coming on board, because maybe he'll actually listen to the customer.
And what they want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he was behind the scenes saying, hey, we got to get Tom Holland back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was devastating. And I get it. Like, things are coming out now that a lot of those news lines were premature. Like, they were still in negotiations before it was official, right? But those negotiations were considering pulling Tom Holland completely out of the MCU, and we would not have him on the Disney side of the MCU. That he would just stay Sony, and he would stay with the Venomverse and the Spider-Man verse, and that would have been it. So the fact that we have Tom Holland back and able to continue on for at least 3 more movies, he has his standalone movie, an Avengers movie, and a guest appearance, as you would call it. So he has 3 more movies that he can do until we have to renegotiate these terms again.
Yeah, they need to get him in with Venom. I'm excited about Venom because Tom Hardy is the man
fantastic
that absolutely portrays Venom
in the way that it needs to be, and not the guy from that 70s show.
Topher Grace. Yeah. Whoever thought that was a good idea? I was like, come on, Brock was like this big, muscular, manly man, and then Topher Grace comes walking out, you're like, I quit.
Well, and let's be honest, Topher Grace and Tobey Maguire were basically the same size guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like, what was it, 2004? 2000 and maybe 2003? No. When the third movie came out, it had to be like 2005, 2006. When that movie came out, they just... It just was so stereotypical, like scrawny little white guy being able to play Spider-Man. But then you get scrawny little Tom Holland who, can flip around and do his own backflips.
But Tom Holland's not scrawny.
Tom Holland's fine. I will go to jail for him.
Tom Holland is just small.
But he's not small. He's 22.
Right, but I'm saying, like, he's short.
Okay, he can.
But
fit
he's built like Spider-Man should be built.
Absolutely, and the fact that he can do his own flips and like insurance has to walk in and be like, "Oh no, we're not dropping him off the side of the building," is probably the best thing because let's be honest, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were like stunt double.
Oh yeah, all day long. Which I mean, for some people, if you can't handle it, you can't handle it.
No.
But,
oh gosh.
But Andrew Garfield, he had the cocky swag.
Yes. And
he was almost the right build. He was still a little bit on the scrawny white boy side.
Who was the guy from Ladder 49?
Joaquin Phoenix?
No, maybe not the right movie. TV show. He played Emma Stone's dad in Andrew Garfield's first Spider-Man.
Dennis Leary.
That was another thing that was good in that movie.
Dennis Leary made a good Mr. Stacy. I forget his name.
Mr. Stacy. I just know he was the police chief.
Yeah.
So he did good in that aspect, and I wished we had more time to develop.
Is he a chief or is he a captain?
One of the two. I wish we just had more time to develop that character and maybe Spider-Man and let him maybe live just a little bit because his relationship seemed pointless by the time Spider-Man 2 came around. He broke up with her because her dad didn't want her to get hurt, but then by Spider-Man 2, they're on and off again because he couldn't, A, control his hormones, and B, he couldn't deal with his guilt.
Right.
So, and then she died. And it's probably the first comic
book.
Alert! Spoiler alert. It's only been out for what?
Yeah, if you haven't seen it at this point, that's your own fault.
What, 8 years now? But that was probably the first movie that I actually hardcore cried because I felt an emotional connection with the character.
Yeah, I thought it was dumb that they killed her off. I mean, there was good potential there for why they did.
Yeah. But
just never happened.
In all honesty, the death seemed pointless. But
yeah.
Also, the whole Martha thing in Justice League. Get sidetracked. Let's talk about pointless things.
I don't even want to talk
Martha
about
thing.
that. That was the stupidest thing that ever showed up in a movie. The app. Oh man, I can't even. Me and my wife joke about it all the time. Anytime we hear somebody say the name Martha, we're like, Martha.
The fact
Where did you hear that name?
The fact that they were still writing the script when that was all going on because things were falling apart behind the scenes was ridiculous. But that's a different story. That's a different universe.
Different universe.
I did watch The Joker.
And?
I give it a 4 out of 10.
Oh, that's right, because I told you you're a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I appreciate that rating. It was...
Did you detach yourself from the fact that it was a Joker movie? Or were you just too hellbent on it being Joker?
So, my husband and I were, looking at it a clinical type of way. We weren't necessarily looking at it as a Joker movie. We were really looking at it as this guy has mental problems. The meds that he's already on are probably not helping what he was doing, and then we're causing him to spiral with the immediate and the abrupt, getting off of them. And then he just went crazy.
Well,
and
it was to show the fracturing of his psyche.
Yeah. Well, and I got that. because a lot of it was fractured. And for it to be canon in DC now, and the fact that they're making a sequel, I have a really hard time.
First off, they're talking about making a sequel. Joaquin Phoenix has not agreed to it.
So he's just waiting for a bigger paycheck.
No, Joaquin Phoenix hates sequels.
Oh.
He hates them.
Anyways.
There's never been a movie that he's done a sequel. Because they wanted to do a sequel to Signs, and he was like, nope.
No. I'd rather have my Heath Ledger Joker where he gives you a different story on how he got his scars every time.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's definitely the best.
I would rather have that Joker and see the fracturing that way than... Because we get it. His childhood was messed up. What happened to him as a kid is the reason why he is the way he is in the Joker movie. But I had no empathy for that. I had no empathy for the situation. All I saw was him, just a broken person who the society just kind of failed on. So.
Right. And that's really what I took away from it, too. And,
Did you actually watch it?
I did.
Can we talk about that ending?
No.
Not to spoil it?
No, because it's still too new.
It's still too new?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It'll come. We'll talk about it in length. This is just one of many podcasts that we will discuss the Joker. Just a little background on why she's talking about she went and watched the Joker is because this crazy fool likes the Jared Leto. Leto. I don't care because I don't like the guy. She liked his Joker.
I liked it in the aspect of the way that they did Suicide Squad, and I feel like that character did not get enough screen time, and he was very much more of a minor role in Suicide Squad, and that's why we didn't grow to like him, personally.
We did agree that maybe if he had had a bigger role or maybe a standalone movie before Suicide Squad, we might have grown to like him.
Even post-Suicide Squad, maybe.
No, I think at that point it was too late. I think by the time that movie came, their chance, unless I guess they could have done a prequel.
Yeah.
And kind of, this is what happened before Suicide Squad.
Maybe.
Like an origin story for him, but I think they were already working on Joker.
Yeah. This Joker.
Long before Leto ever stepped up to take on the Suicide Squad. Which, the Suicide Squad in itself, to me, wasn't a very strong movie. They should have spent time doing movies before that. Kind of like Marvel has always...
So, if you look at DC, they're trying to take the reverse... Don't look at me like that.
There we go. You heard it here first. They went...
They're doing the reverse approach than what Marvel did in the DC, because they're trying to give you, okay, here's your Justice League, and then here's your stories on why they are superheroes.
Right, and they need to stop that because
it doesn't work. And I think that's what their approach was on Suicide Squad was, we're going to throw, all these big list actors in there, well, not big, but known actors, Jared Leto.
Leto?
Leto.
Is he French now?
He could be whatever he wants.
Oh, God.
I'm a little... Yeah. Who played Harley Quinn? Margot Robbie. We do this every time. Yeah. And then Will Smith. We had... Oh, and Keira Devine. Yep. Who plays also in Carnival Row. So we had all of these individuals for this one movie, and I'm pretty sure they were going to try to break it up because, let's be honest, Suicide Squad gave Harley Quinn a little bit of an origin story. You kind of saw where she was spiraled out a little bit more than everybody else. Right?
Yeah, but then they went...
And did Birds of Prey.
And
that was a disappointment.
Hey, even to them.
If they would have just, I don't know. Maybe...
Because it was supposed to be post-Suicide Squad.
Yeah. No, it was.
And it just, you're like, nope, that's where you should have probably taken the time to do the origin story to show how she became Harley Quinn.
Yeah. So, but if they probably would have said, here's your Suicide Squad, and then, but did not have Will Smith, did not have, maybe Cara Delevingne could have stayed in there, because she's more of a model than an actress, in all reality. But if you had Margot Robbie and Jared Leto and Cara in there still, maybe we would have been able to have a better impact of a Suicide Squad than rather than we're sharing a lot of time and we're trying to make a fictional relationship where Deadshot and Harley Quinn are going to be best friends, but she's really in love with the Joker and she's going to keep running back to him regardless. If we didn't have that need for a friendship or a kinship between Deadshot and Harley Quinn, I think it would have been a better movie. And kind of more or less a fend for yourselves with the Suicide Squad. Because the Suicide Squad, they aren't friends. They are always going to be individual, out for themselves people and trying to get away or get their own score or what have you. And unfortunately, they try to make it too much of a friendship. Though I still love the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is in my top 3 DC movies. Unfortunately, don't give me that look.
No, I'm not. I would have to agree because everything else has been crap.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. What?
You tell me your top 3 DC movies and I'll tell you my top 3 DC movies.
Okay, so it may be in the top for recent DC movies.
Okay, I'm talking...
Because I'm talking like 1984 Batman.
No, okay.
With Michael Keaton.
We're talking this century.
Okay. See, that's still tough for me to answer. Because I'm not enjoying the DC movies at all.
So here's my top 3. Wonder Woman will always be my number 1.
Okay.
She is my favorite.
I'll agree.
That movie, they rocked it out of the house, and I cannot wait for Wonder Woman 1984 to come out. Man of Steel is my number 2.
Decent.
It was definitely a different idea of what Superman was, and I liked the fact that you had not Michael Keaton, what was his name?
Kevin Costner, and who was Kal-El's father? That was Kevin Costner.
It was not. Kevin Costner was John.
Jonathan Kent.
He was Jonathan Kent. Yes, sorry,
Okay.
I'm blanking now.
You talking about who played Jor-El?
Jor-El, yes.
Ah. God, who was that? Was it Russell Crowe?
Yes, there we go.
Okay.
The fact that we have Superman's dads, biological and non-biological, were Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner. Yeah, no. Home run right there. And we had Amy Adams as Lois Lane, which I didn't think I was going to like, and I ended up loving her as Lois Lane.
It was a good choice.
It was a very good choice. It was very out there, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, it was good. They did a good job with that.
And number 3 is Suicide Squad, by the way.
See, I guess I'm more for the old school DC.
And that's fine.
Even to go Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises.
For me, that is a standalone series. It did not intertwine with how they're intertwining things now. And they will even tell you that those Batman movies are not canon to this universe.
No, I know.
So...
Obviously, with the car.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Or else they'd have had the Batmobile.
Yeah. And not Ben Affleck. But...
No. I'm not talking about that Batman.
No, I'm saying if they would have had... If they would have had Christian Bale's Batman, they would have had the car, and we would not have Ben Affleck, which would have saved the DC universe. Because let's be honest, Ben Affleck being Batman just kind of caused more problems than it needed to.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Ben Affleck for a second. Let's list the movies of Ben Affleck that anybody likes. Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Didn't even like it because of Ben Affleck, but he's in there, so
Matt Damon's in there, and I like it.
Yep. I mean, it was a good movie. And The Accountant?
No. Okay, The Accountant, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. The Accountant was something that I did not anticipate to like, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was a really well done
But
movie,
you're
too.
forgetting Armageddon.
Oh, Armageddon. Okay. Yeah, he did do a good job in Armageddon.
No.
I don't know why I always forget that he's in there.
Because Bruce Willis and
Everybody else outshines
Liv
him.
Liv Tyler outshines him.
So, out of his entire acting career, 3 movies.
3 movies. They're good 3 movies.
They are.
Yeah.
But then you got... Oh, he was... Was he the one that did The Town?
Yes. He was the cop in The Town, yes.
That was a good one, too.
Was he in, Oh, I can't think of the name. Maybe not. Okay. It'll come to me.
Well, the good news is that in today's modern age, we have Google at our fingertips. Oh, I should have said a search engine.
A search engine. Okay.
Let's take a look here. Ben Affleck movies. You think we'd have done our homework before we got on this microphone, but, you know. Ben Affleck movies. Let's see. I've heard...
Oh, he was in Pearl Harbor, too.
Yeah, didn't care for Pearl Harbor.
Keep going down. Triple Frontier wasn't bad.
I didn't see Triple Frontier. Gone Baby Gone. That was his brother. He wasn't in that.
I think him and Casey get mixed up a lot.
Okay. Maybe he just made an appearance at some point.
He's like a stormtrooper, you know. They've got famous people to be extra stormtroopers in Star Wars. All the time.
Reindeer Games was decent. And of course, Sum of All Fears, because Morgan Freeman is Morgan Freeman. So I guess he's in a few good movies.
In a few good movies.
But he's very forgettable. Like, I forgot that he was in School Ties. I forgot that he was in Boiler Room. Oh. Mallrats. Great movie. Have you seen Mallrats?
No.
Oh, God. Homework.
No, I'm good. Do you know what movie that we have Captain America and Black Widow in? The Perfect Score. About the high school kids that steal the SATs.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-Marvel. It's like their first gigs apiece.
Can I be honest?
You've never seen it? Well, be honest.
Scarlett Johansson?
You're not going to hate on my Black Widow.
I am a little bit.
Do not hate on my Black Widow.
I'm not going to hate on it because it's Scarlett Johansson. I'm going to hate on it because they seriously underplayed her abilities.
Yeah.
In all of Marvel Universe right now.
I'm sorry, I get that, okay, spoiler alert, Black Widow's dead in the MCU. Post-Endgame. But we're going to go ahead and do a prequel of her series, or of her life, so we could get a idea of who she was so we can introduce the new Black Widow. Because that's the whole reason why they're bringing it in, is because they're going to bring in one of the ladies from Black Widow's Red Room of Pain to be a new Black Widow. Which is fine, but you guys really wanted to overplay Captain Marvel's amazing powers, but you undercut one of your best characters that had already been dedicated to the scenes. Like, yeah. Captain Marvel came in and sucker punched Thanos, but guess what? Then he kicked her ass and zapped her out of universe, and guess what? No more Captain Marvel. Then, like, okay. That was really worth it for you guys.
Did I hit a vein? or a nerve?
No idea.
Just to tell you, that shows how much in the healthcare field we are. I said, did I hit a vein?
Yes, you did.
Not a nerve.
Not a nerve. I cannot tell you how much I dislike the whole roundabout way we went with the Captain Marvel thing. Don't like it. And I don't like her. And that's probably the reason why, is because they had Scarlett Johansson, one of the best actors on those movies and one of the dedicated individuals who kept coming back and did not throw a fit. She did her job, and she did a very good job. She developed that character.
Yeah.
And you're going to give her a prequel movie after she's dead?
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't do something before Endgame with her.
I don't either.
Like, and the new Black Widow movie coming out doesn't look like it's going to be fantastic.
I'm going to be really optimistic because they have so many images of original Black Widow comic book types that I'm pretty excited for that. If they hit the tones right with that, I'm pretty happy with it. And then the guy, you have, what is his name from Stranger Things as the Russian era Captain America?
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
Red Soldier or whatever his name is. Pretty excited for that. Just alone, I will go see it. I'm probably going to buy a t-shirt and the awesome hats that Kevin Feige has been wearing. Probably going to get one of those too. But 100% really disappointed in Marvel in that aspect. The fact that they undercut Black Widow so much and then gave her a movie at the end.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm totally going to go watch the movie. I just was trying to figure out. So David Harbour is his name. He's playing the Red
Hopper
Guardian.
from
Yeah, I know who he is. I just couldn't remember his name. So, I mean, you're going to see a lot of...
Do you think the Falcon or... Not the Falcon. Hawkeye or Winter Soldier will play an appearance, or Nick Fury will play an appearance in the Black Widow movie?
I mean, I'll be really disappointed if Samuel L. Jackson doesn't show up in there somewhere.
So the story goes, Hawkeye was on a mission to kill Black Widow. And then he offered her a job instead.
Yeah, but
if we don't get one of those scenes, or if I don't get a Winter Soldier flashback of her and Winter Soldier beefing it out, we're going to have a problem. That's my expectation right now. And if we don't have her walking into Iron Man 2 at the very end of that movie, we're going to have a problem. I have some high hopes, and I know that they're going to fall short.
Yeah. I'm looking at the production notes.
They're having to do reshoots right now, too. 8 weeks worth of reshoots.
Yeah,
and we're 3 months out from the movie being released.
So I think you're going to be disappointed.
Thank you. Another reason why I need to go to therapy after this.
But, I mean, it should still be a good movie. I mean, it's still Scarlett Johansson, so...
I feel like they're only doing this is because as how many of the fans gripe and complain that we've yet to have it. And the way, like, okay, yeah, Captain Marvel broke the box office. I got it. Because there was so much hype on it. But then, did it really do that well? Like, it was good. But there was no emotional connection to Endgame with her.
Yeah. I mean, she had time for one movie. But I will say that Scarlett Johansson, as the Black Widow, as a supporting character, did an amazing job because by time Endgame happened, people felt something in that scene.
Oh, I did. I had to ensure that I wore no makeup that day because I was completely prepared for what all had happened at the end of Infinity War. I didn't expect by any means that all of the characters except for the original 6 were going to be saved. I was prepared for my heart to get broken with Robert Downey Jr., with Captain America, with the Hulk, with Hawkeye. I kept on saying, if they kill off Hawkeye, by the way, I have a huge DILF crush on Jeremy Renner as it is. But if they killed off Hawkeye and left his family alone, I was going to lose my mind. And then we get into Endgame, and opening scene was his family got snapped. Already fucking tears. We got to Black Widow jumping off the cliff, telling him it's okay. And jumping off the cliff, lost my mind. Tears. More tears. I just, oh my gosh.
Jeremy Renner.
Renner. Just.
Oh, I know. No,
you know.
I'm going to show you what I don't like about Jeremy Renner. I think he's a great actor.
I think he's a great actor, too.
But acting is probably where he should have stayed.
Because he sings. And I love him. I love the fact that he sings.
He does, but not well.
Whatever. I think he does a fantastic.
No. That's just no.
I like it. I'll keep it. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. A lot of people don't.
Oh, we don't.
But
I started seeing him pop up for all these, like, he was in these commercials or something. I was like, wait, he sings?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Actually, one of my favorite movies that he did was SWAT with Colin Farrell.
I keep forgetting that he was in that with Michelle Rodriguez. Let's say that correctly because she deserves it. Michelle Rodriguez.
Yep.
And Samuel L. Jackson once again. That was a good movie for what, 2006? No, earlier than that, 2005.
My years for movies is just.
I have to think about what grade of school, like in school I was. I know you're probably out of school at this point, or close to being out of school.
Guess who's old here, guys?
So I think about it. I'm like, I wasn't driving yet, so I was probably in like freshman, 8th grade, 7th grade when that movie came out. Just to age you a little.
Yeah, that's okay. Well then. All right. Well, we have had you guys for like almost 40 minutes now. This is pretty much what it's going to be. We're just going to sit around. We're going to talk about stuff that we like. We would like to talk about things that you like as well. But
you can always send in your recommendations to
our email.
Yes.
At Nighthawk
and The Hindrance
at gmail.com. Or you can also follow us on Facebook by going to your search bar and searching Nighthawk Hindrance. It's a personal page, not a business page.
Yep.
Get on there, request us, message us, do whatever. Leave us your recommendations for things you want to hear, or else you're just going to hear about what we want to hear.
And, you know, considering what had happened yesterday, we weren't not going to talk about it. Because that is a huge thing. At least in my eyes. Because my world kind of got shooken, and I am a little bit afraid, but at the same time, the guy who's stepping in has a lot of people who will guide him in the right direction of how our universes should go.
Yeah, it's called Millions of Fans. I mean, just to give you guys an idea of our list, I have a list here of things we were going to cover. We were going to cover Sweet Jesus.
It's my favorite catchphrase.
And getting her to not say it 1,000 times a minute. We were going to do comic book movies. We weren't going to focus on just what we did. We were going to cover, all of the movies.
All the movies. I think we grabbed a good handful of them.
We did, but we need to go more in depth on some of them. Some of these I'm going to have to go back and watch again because as we were talking before the mic came on, I'm like, why don't I remember that?
Oh, yeah, the whole post-credits scene with Spider-Man,
Yeah, and that just blew my mind. I was like, holy crap, why don't I remember seeing that? It wasn't that long ago. I'm just getting old and forgetting
And
stuff.
you got to always remember, Sony will be putting out those every 2 years Spider-Man movies because they want a chunk of that change. Every single time they make that movie. Spider-Man will always be their highest grossing comic book character that they can earn money on. So they're going to earn it.
Unless they come around and make a really good Fantastic Four movie.
They can't. It's not Sony. Marvel owes that. It was
right.
Fox.
They went back.
And we need John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
John what?
I'm not saying it
Krasinski?
again. You know what? Jim from The Office.
Jim from The Office. All right. Best rule ever. Though, all right, look, we're getting off track. I'm trying to tell you about this list of things that we want to talk about. We're going to go into all the comic book movies. We're going to go into the Netflix adaptation for TV shows on comic book characters.
The Defenders. That's what they were called.
Okay, but even the individual movies, or individual characters is what I'm talking about, because the Defenders got real shitty real quick.
But the group of them was called
I
the
understand.
Defenders.
I understand, but I don't want to recognize that as something that's on.
God. I stopped saying sweet Jesus. I just said God.
We're going to talk about The Boys, because
Season 2 is going to come out in August.
if you guys haven't seen that, I need y'all to go watch The Boys. It was amazing.
Do not watch it with children around.
Absolutely do not watch it with children around.
The first 15 minutes gets really bad really quick. So, caveat to that, do not watch it with children around. I made that mistake.
Yeah, very quickly. We were going to talk about Morbius. We didn't get around to that because...
But we touched on Jared Leto, my favorite Joker.
Look, you need to make up your mind. Is it Leto or is it Leto?
Leto. I've always said Leto.
No, earlier you said Leto.
You said Leto.
No, I said Leto.
Okay. And I want to know what you guys think the actual pronunciation of his name is.
I'm pretty sure we could just look online and find that. But anyway, send us your thoughts about what you want to hear to our email, Nighthawk and The Hindrance @gmail.com.
And look us up on Facebook, like and subscribe.
There's no subscribe. It's a personal page. Just like it.
Just follow us.
There you go. Follow us on there. We're going to try to push these out every week.
Yes.
And if we're talking comic books, we got endless things to talk about. But that's not all we want to talk about. You know, that's just what's on our list for right now.
All 3 items.
We are just going to bore it into your brain that we are
huge nerds. And it's okay because it's 2020 and it's fine to be a nerd nowadays.
Absolutely. So, that's it for now. I'm Nighthawk.
I'm The Hindrance.
Stay nerdy.